Sagittarius, mid-January to mid-February 2022. Your oracle cards from the Pure Magic Oracle are very interesting. They speak of, in the most literal sense, it can be an astral travel. Those of you who don't know what astral projection is or astral traveling, look it up on Google. But there is an out-of-body experience theme, and there is a visitation to a land of magic or another realm. And I'm getting Wizard of Oz vibes from this reading, like immensely. It also can speak of a needing to balance rest and activity, and to know that there is a time and a place to be up in our head, and there is a time and a place to get down to work. This card asks you to know your body, to understand what it needs, and to know that you are just as much of a spiritual being as you are a physical human being in this tangible 3D world. So care is needed, even when we are rising above. I feel like you're rising above obstacles in your life, because even though you can't physically see over them, I feel like there's a connection to your spirit, your higher self, being able to see from a higher perspective what is going on, and that the pitfalls in front of you, like your way around them, and you just have this subconscious knowing because you've almost seen it before. And any of you who have had astral traveling as a child, I did when I was a kid. Still do every now and then, but it was very profound when I was a child. Very, the experience actually shook me a couple times. It was terrifying. So, not that it's always terrifying, but I won't get into exactly my experience, maybe another time. But this is a 10 card. So it's the beginning of a new cycle after the wrapping up of an older one. It seems like you've got the final touches on something in your life, and you're having to have the faith and see the outcome before it's happening. The Gnomes card speaks about the work we put into something, the connections we have to all things around us, and the work and bonding and friendship we get from helping others around us. So it is a humanitarian card. It speaks of, that Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, like, whistle while you work, all helping each other in the mine to get the diamonds, and I feel like, and it's little visions, it's almost as if little glimpses of the end of the road that's been a big struggle for you are in sight in your mind's eye, or that you're having deja vu about it, like you've experienced the ending before. You just need to figure out the steps to get to where you're going. So this says make time for rest as well as work, and this is a more get down to work card. So I'm gonna say that there was a time for rest, and now, although you still need balance, you need to push. This is the push card. You're pushing into the the finale of whatever you're working on. Your underlying tarot from the Hanson Roberts is Judgment, Major Arcana. And here you are, Sagittarius. Here you are underneath it. It's as if there is a levitating, there is a raising of vibration, there is or maybe a need to raise your vibration. There is a call to action this month. You are being called to manifest something. All right, let's begin the reading. So, currently you are focused on this end result, that you've put in the work emotionally to attain some level of happiness, some level of emotional fulfillment, attainment. It's as if you took it a step further from getting what you want, or you are taking it a step further from getting what you want, and getting the final touches on the big, beautiful present that is your life. And people might not see like the work that went into you being in this positive vibration, but I see here that what's helping or hindering you is your wanting to care about something, or your attention to detail. You might be overtly focused on the smaller details of the big picture. You also might be nurturing this dream, because that's what I mainly see is like the nurturing of a dream. I see the house falling from the sky. I see somebody bumping their head on a window and going off into a new land filled with little people. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost as if there is this very surreal part of your life you're experiencing right now, an attainment of a dream, and you are having to get down that yellow brick road, and you're struggling maybe to figure out why you're there in the first place. What I see that may be kind of hanging the cloud over your head, the atmosphere of the entire situation, is maybe financial restrictions, or having to constantly juggle. And you've made a playful act of it up until this point, but the restrictions may be getting to you. There's a structure to the Devil card, because it is ruled by Saturn. There are rules, and there are rules to be broken, really. And you're trying to follow the rules here the best you can with what little you have. I also see this as the green-faced monster of your story. And you can even see that it looks like the Wicked Witch to me in this moment. Remember that thing she holds, the spoon, the wooden spoon, as she rubs it on the not the cauldron, the looking glass, the crystal ball, when she's making them fall asleep with the poppies. It's, I'm seeing that in this, that maybe there's this adversarial energy, like you can actually feel some sort of presence, or there is an individual in your life that is trying to make it harder for you to obtain your goal. And this may not be as, and this might be a concept. This might be even a slice of your inner demons, your inner world of negative self-talk and abuse. And so, but there is a juggling going on here, wondering if you're going to make it, that surrounds you, that is the cloud over your head at this time. So there's like a cloud that's over your happiness, because really at the core level you are so happy because you are so close to, but you're like, well, the one thing that would make this perfect is a bright sunny day, and I've got this big cloud overhead that won't go away. And this guy reminds me of the scarecrow playing with a bale of hay, trying to stuff himself back together. And look at, isn't that funny? Look who we have here. It is the Wizard of Oz. It's totally the Wizard of Oz. This is the Emerald City in the middle. You've gotten there. Now you're trying to figure out what's behind the curtain. What's the purpose of it all, Why haven't I gotten back home yet? Back to home base. And Glinda, it's as if somebody is helping you from the other side as well. Or somebody in your life may be helping you and you don't even know it. In the past, let's hold on a minute. So underneath it all, you're emotionally distraught over this rain cloud. You're like, why is there not perfection? So you've got this rain cloud that's just ruining the perfection of what you've attained so far, because you just can't see past it. And you want the happy ending. You want to reach the yellow brick road. You want to get to where you've been going all this time. And it's breaking your heart that you can't get back to where you belong, or what you deserve, or understand why it has to hurt like this right now. This is also the Tin Man. That's some synchronicity right there. The Tin Man with the heart. He wanted a heart because he thought that was the best thing in the world, but you get a heart and sometimes it breaks. or you don't know, what's that Miranda Lambert song? Tin Man. Great song. I love Miranda Lambert. So now that you have accomplished this dream, your heart could break again because you're so close, but you're still not at the finish line, and you are almost rehatching the times before when your dream did not come true, when it fell through, and you're reliving that pain all over again in your subconscious mind. That's what this is. In the past, you've been strong. You've held it together. Even when you wanted to flip out and go crazy because you've just gave this your everything and you had nothing else left and it didn't happen. You had to tame that inner angry and frustrated human animal that you are. You had to temper yourself. And see how she's like holding that lion like it's nothing. She's learned how to communicate with it. You've had to learn how to communicate with your animal instincts through this process to tame your inner wild, to focus on getting back up and continuing to fight for what you want and not throwing a tantrum about it when you don't get it. And there is this patience, because it took a long time to win this lion over. It didn't happen overnight. And in The Wizard of Oz, isn't the lion scaredy cat? He's a scaredy cat. So you've had to also overcome your fear. The fear of this not working out and it being another failure. The fear of what could happen to you if this doesn't happen. And the fear of it never coming true at all. And overcoming our fear and taming our inner beast here. The devil represents fear as well as restriction. So this is a little pesky guy or girl who's putting up the roadblocks. Oh, no, you can't do that. Oh, I'm going to throw an apple at you here. Oh, I'm going to make the trees attack you here. I'm going to put some poppies down and make you fall asleep so you can't focus on what you're doing. We don't want you to achieve greatness. We don't, this is the adversarial force. And you having to juggle and deal with that. In The Wizard of Oz also, the scarecrow gets lit on fire. So you might have seen this happen to somebody around you. You might have seen somebody fall in the pitfalls and be devastated by it, by this person, by this entity, by this adversarial, unnamed, unfaced force. And you do not want to fall in line. You don't want to drop the ball. And I don't think you do, because in the future, on this path to the yellow brick road here, you've been afraid of finding your way, but you've set out, and you're taking your time. You've taken your time over the course of this whole thing. It's been a struggle. And this is, in the future, you will keep going. You're not going to stop. You're gonna, no matter how long it takes you, you are going to keep plodding along, taking action, using your resources that you have at hand and the ones that are around you on your journey. And when I pulled this card, it fell to the floor like this, and I looked underneath when I picked it up, and here is the finale, when they're coming. It's almost, I see like this castle in the far, far back, which is showing up to me as a castle, but it's probably not, is Emerald City. And this castle here, before we can get to Emerald City again and bring back the broom of the Wicked Witch, we have to go into her territory. We have to go and confront her. We have to confront her, and we're carrying all this burden. We're carrying all these attempts of this, at this goal, or at this struggle, where we see that there's one last, what do you call it in a video game, a standoff at the end when you meet the boss. There's one last battle we have to fight, but the end is in sight. And we don't know if we can keep going with the amount that we're carrying and the amount of struggle that we've had to face. But we're at the end now, so it's almost like you gotta brush yourself off and just face it. Just push one last time. Your advice from Spirit is to confront this. There is an action being taken, and it is quick action, to go back to the past and confront your past. And maybe there is this kind of, there is a balance with the Six of Cups. It's as if there is emotional retribution. There is a shared experience. I think you're confronting your childhood dreams, or you're confronting your childhood self, or asked to this month, period, to remember what you wanted and why you wanted it for so long. And this might have to do with an argument from the past, confronting your memory of this argument of the past, not allowing it to make you aggressive, because this can be a card of aggression. And this is a card of nostalgia and happiness. It's as almost if you're confronting the past with clarity, and you're not gonna soften your lens for it anymore. Or you're going to confront your past by taking action on your childhood dreams. Something that you loved and you shared with others freely at that point, because there was no inhibition. Like there was no hang-ups. You were a kid. You could just be who you wanted and talk about what you wanted, and, for the most part. Maybe your childhood wasn't that easy. And that's been one of your hang-ups. Your self-worth. That you would be able to achieve this great goal. And people might have laughed at you. You might have been the awkward kid. It's to confront that child and say, look, are we going to do this or not? That's what Spirit asks of you. Or to fight for your child self. To mentally go back in time, to travel, to see things from a spiritual perspective, to go back and be your own champion, to tell your childhood self, nope, you're gonna do great things. You're worth it. And it's happening. And I need you along for the ride, because without you, I'm just a summation of my scars. And I'm not just a warrior. I have a childlike spirit still. I want to be loved, and I want to share that love with other people. And I want to be happy. And I want to give freely of myself, and I want to receive freely from other people. And up until this point, you've had to struggle with that because you just felt the world was kind of on top of you, You're being crushed by this goal and the setbacks from it. How others see you or their involvement in your situation. If I could pick it up here. Hard to attain, this one right here. Hard to attain. You achieve a new beginning you have the medal. Who gets the medal? The lion. For courage. You get the medal. Because even when you didn't think you had any courage, you did the bravest thing by confronting your fears. Even though you were scared. Even though you didn't think it was going to work out. You get the medal in the future. He's got the medal, that lion. And they see this great achievement and a whole new cycle coming in for you that will bring financial stability, that will bring the beginning of a new legacy. What you're hoping for. You're hoping for the achievement of the ultimate happiness, of being able to feel vulnerable again without a worry that you may have to deal with a slight to the situation, of being free and regaining that childhood wonder again for life and believing in the magic of life, being excited about what's around the corner. a new take on, a new slate. All the bad things washing away and having a complete, shiny, sunny day to go out and play. You're hoping that that's coming because you can see the sun and the horizon, and you can see what's coming in on the water towards you. You have it in sight. The end is near. And you're hoping that this final nail gets put in this chapter of your life so you can start over. So you can take that bookshelf, finally, that's all put together, and write a new story to put on it. To gain the stability of the dream that you're creating. The outcome. Dorothy got a crown. She did, she did. She's got her back turned to the Wicked Witch. She's got her back turned. It's not even a thing anymore. It's like they're throwing a tantrum. And you can see them in your sword, and the reflection in your sword. But you ain't gonna pay no mind. You only got one eye on her. And you're looking forward to the future. And see this empty space here? There's no card here. You can fill it with whatever you want. You've gone down the yellow brick road. You've gone through the hurdles and the struggles. And you're on your throne now. And if anything ever happens again that would maybe throw you off your throne, you've got that sword now, that wisdom, that clarity. You've been through it before. You've got the t-shirt. And no one's going to mess with you. But you're still kind. You're still receptive. You just don't play games with people who are going to try you again, or situations that are going to be toxic for you. You have no time for that. This is my Mary Poppins card. She's strict, but she's fair, and when she's in her best, she's witty and funny and smart and bright. She's just a bright soul. And she knows her mental agility. She's very cunning. And she sees both sides of the situation because her blade is sharpened on both sides. So she sees the duality of things as well. She sees the magical journey for it being a magical journey, but she also sees it as all of the physical and tangible hard work and effort that she's put into it. And she embraces both of it, both sides of the story. You're being called to action this month to take the journey, the final steps of the journey, and create the life that you want. Be who you are. You can do it, Sagittarius. Have a good rest of your January, and I'll see you in February. Bye.